Building on the previous discussion about the importance of maintaining faith and a good conscience, 1 Timothy chapter 1 verse 20 presents a stark illustration of the consequences when these are forsaken. The verse states, "Of whom are Hymenaeus and Alexander, whom I delivered to Satan, that they may learn not to blaspheme." This verse not only emphasizes the severe implications of straying from the path of righteousness, but also highlights the measures taken to address such deviations within the community of believers. Hymenaeus and Alexander are cited by Paul as examples of individuals who have made shipwreck of their faith and disregarded their good conscience. The action taken against them, being delivered to Satan, is a phrase that may sound harsh at first glance, yet it carries a profound and serious purpose within the context of church discipline and restoration. This drastic measure is intended as a form of corrective discipline designed not for punishment per se, but to bring about repentance and restoration to the faith community. The phrase "delivered to Satan" is understood to mean putting someone outside the protective and communal bounds of the church, exposing them to the world as a means to experience the consequences of their sinful actions, which ideally leads to repentance. It is a biblical approach that seeks to jolt individuals back to their senses when they have drifted dangerously away from the teachings they once professed to follow. This action underscores the responsibility of the community to uphold its purity and the spiritual well-being of its members. It shows that discipline within the church is not just an internal matter, but a necessary action for the sake of the individual's spiritual health and the integrity of the community. The ultimate goal is restoration, not just retribution. Such measures are taken in the hope that the individual will come to understand the seriousness of their error, leading them to repentance and a renewed commitment to live according to the faith. The mention of blasphemy in connection with Hymenaeus and Alexander further illuminates the nature of their error. Blasphemy in this context likely involves not only offensive speech against God, but also the propagation of teachings that contradict the core doctrines of the Christian faith. Such actions would have undermined the faith of others in the community, warranting a stern response to prevent further spiritual harm. The case of Hymenaeus and Alexander serves as a sobering reminder of the dangers of deviating from the truth. It highlights the necessity for vigilance in both doctrine and conduct, as well as the importance of community accountability. The church is called not only to nurture, but also to protect the spiritual welfare of its flock, confronting errors that threaten to undermine the foundational beliefs and practices of the faith. For believers today, this narrative offers several lessons. First, it stresses the importance of adhering closely to the truth as it has been handed down through the Scriptures. Any departure from this truth can lead to spiritual ruin, not just for the individual, but also for the community. Secondly, it teaches the need for humility and openness to correction. The journey of faith is one of continual growth and learning, where correction is sometimes necessary to guide us back to the right path. Moreover, this passage encourages believers to support the disciplinary measures that the church may need to enact in its duty to protect and purify the community. Understanding that such measures are aimed at restoration can help believers approach church discipline with a perspective of love and redemption, rather than judgment and exclusion. 1 Timothy chapter 1 verse 20 is not merely about the failures of Hymenaeus and Alexander, but a poignant teaching on the responsibility of the community to uphold its spiritual integrity. It calls for a commitment to live out one's faith with sincerity and to support those in the community in doing the same. As members of a faith community, individuals are urged to nurture a culture where truth is cherished, sin is confronted, and restoration is pursued with the hope of achieving spiritual health and maturity for all.